Have you ever noticed how the exact same choice can feel completely different depending on how it's presented? Imagine you're shopping online. One product says 90% of customers were satisfied. Another says 10% of customers were dissatisfied. Most people feel more positive about the first statement, even though both mean exactly the same thing. Strange, right? But that's because your brain isn't just reacting to information. It's reacting to how that information is framed. This psychological phenomenon is called the framing effect, and it influences everything from what we buy, to how we vote, to the risks we're willing to take. Let's explore why it happens and how it quietly shapes our everyday decisions. The framing effect is a cognitive bias where people make different choices based on how the same information is presented. In other words, the facts stay the same, but the wording changes, and suddenly our decisions change too. One of the most famous examples comes from psychologists Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky. Participants were asked to imagine a deadly disease outbreak expected to kill 600 people. They were given two options. In the first version, Program A would save 200 people. Program B had a 1/3 chance that all 600 people would be saved and a 2/3 chance that nobody would be saved. Most people chose Program A, but another group received the same scenario framed differently. Program C would result in 400 people dying. Program D had a 1/3 chance that nobody would die and a 2/3 chance that all 600 people would die. This time, most people chose Program D. Here's the surprising part. Program A and Program C are mathematically identical. Program B and Program D are also identical. The only difference was whether the outcomes were framed as gains or losses. Yet people's preferences completely change. So why does this happen? The answer lies in how our brains process gains and losses. Humans generally dislike losses more than they enjoy equivalent gains. Losing $100 usually feels more painful than finding $100 feels rewarding. Because of this, when information is framed positively, we tend to play it safe and protect the gain. But when information is framed negatively, we often become more willing to take risks to avoid a loss. Our emotional reaction changes even when the underlying facts don't. And because many decisions are made quickly, our brains often rely on these emotional shortcuts instead of carefully analyzing the numbers. The framing effect is everywhere. Advertisers use it constantly. Would you rather buy beef labeled 80% lean or 20% fat? Most consumers prefer the first option, even though both labels describe the same product. Health campaigns do it too. A message saying, exercising increases your chance of living longer, may produce a different response than, not exercising increases your risk of early death. Both communicate similar information, but one focuses on gains while the other emphasizes losses. Even pricing strategies rely on framing. A company may advertise a product as costing less than $1 a day. That sounds much more appealing than saying it costs $365 per year, even though the annual cost is exactly the same. The framing effect also affects important life decisions. Investors may react differently when hearing that a stock has a 70% chance of success compared to a 30% chance of failure. Patients may be more likely to agree to a medical procedure if told it has a 90% survival rate rather than a 10% mortality rate. Politicians, news organizations, and marketers all understand that the way information is presented can influence public opinion. That's why two headlines about the same event can create completely different emotional reactions. The facts may be identical, but the frame changes how we interpret them. Now, does this mean we're all easily manipulated? Not necessarily, but it does mean we should be aware of how information is being presented. The next time you're making a decision, try asking yourself a simple question. Would I feel the same way if this information were presented differently? Look for the numbers behind the wording. If a product claims a 95% success rate, think about what that also means in terms of failure rates. If an offer sounds incredibly attractive, consider whether the framing is making it appear better than it really is. By mentally reframing information, you can often make more balanced decisions. So the next time a headline grabs your attention, a salesperson makes an offer, or a product sounds too good to pass up, remember this: the information itself may not be changing. The frame around it is. And sometimes a simple change in wording can completely change the way we think, feel, and decide. The framing effect reminds us that our choices are influenced not only by facts, but by the stories those facts are wrapped in. And once you learn to spot the frame, you'll start seeing it everywhere. Click that subscribe button to join us on the path of understanding better how our brains work and how that might be used against us and how we can use that for our own benefit. Cheers!